Hello and welcome to the lecture about bubble sort. Bubble sort algorithm compares every adjacent pair and swap their position if they're not in the correct order. We will compare two adjacent pair of items, and if they're not in the right order, then we will swap them. In each iteration, the largest element will be moved to the end of the unsorted array. It seems a little bit confusing, but I promise to make it easy, as simple as possible. By the end of the video, I'm confident that you will have mastered the bubble sort algorithm. Let's dive into the algorithm by the given array. We have an unsorted array of the values, and the code includes a main function, and at the beginning we must call the bubble sort function. In the beginning, we assign the length of the array to a variable named n. The length of the array is 6. Go to the following line. Two loops are required. The outer loop controls the number of iterations needed to move the largest element to the end of the array and put them in their correct position. It depends on the size of the array because in each iteration only one element is moving to the end of the array. And the inner loop is responsible to perform comparisons and swaps. Now let's move on to perform comparisons. Go to the next line and check if ARR of j is greater than ARR of j plus 1. If so, we must swap them since a value must be less than its successor in a sorted subset. 15 is less than 99 and the condition is false, meaning that they are in a correct order compared to each other. A step backward and increment j is equal to 1. Go to the next line to check another pair of items to see whether ARR of j is greater than ARR of j plus 1 or not. The condition is true because 99 is greater than 44. Then we must swap them in the following line. After swapping, step backward and increment j to check another pair of items. J becomes 2, then go to the next line. This time 99 is greater than 18, meaning that the condition is true and we must swap them in the following line. Swap 19 and 18 to place items in their correct order, then step backward and increment j to check another pair of items. Go to the next line to check if 99 is greater than 26. The condition is true and 99 is greater than 26. Therefore, we need to swap them. A step backward to increment j, and this time j has reached to its limitation, since the range function in Python can only generate a sequence of numbers up to a certain limit. Go to the next line and check if 99 is greater than 6. The condition is true, therefore we must swap them to place 99 in the correct position. Now the first iteration of the outer loop has been accomplished, and upon completion of the first iteration, the largest element among all items will bubble up to the end of the array, and this is the main intuition behind bubble sort function, so simple and straightforward algorithm. For example, here, as you observe, 99 continuously swapped with the smaller elements until it reached to its correct position. The remaining elements in the array are not necessarily in the correct order, and we need to do the same process on the remaining n-1 elements. Now that the concept of the code has been unwrapped, we can speed up the process to see how the largest element will bubble up to the end of the array. After 99, the largest element is 44, and the algorithm tries to move 44 to the end of the unsorted array. Please keep in mind that in each iteration, the largest element will be moved to the end of the unsorted array by the algorithm. And finally, 44 will be placed in the correct position. And we will do the same process for the remaining elements. In the next iteration, 26, which is the largest element among remaining elements, will be moved to the end of the unsorted array to be placed in the correct position. Now it is the time to put 18 in the correct position. We put 18 in the sorted group. And finally, last two items will be compared. 6 is the last item within unsorted array, but please keep in mind whenever there are no elements to compare with, then you can conclude that the last element is already in its correct position. Therefore, we move it into the sorted group. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to subscribe to ensure you don't miss any new updates.